And welcome to the Sunday News at 10. I'm Doug Petcash. The man accused of killing 4 University of Idaho students more than 6 months ago will be in court tomorrow morning in Moscow. Prosecutors say Bryan Kohberger stabbed Xana Kernodle, Ethan Chapin, Madison Mogan, and Kaylee Gonsalves at a home next to campus in the early morning hours of November 13th. Kohberger will be arraigned on 4 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of burglary. Our Morgan Romero is up in Moscow covering this story for us. She is there live right now. Morgan, what can we expect tomorrow?
Doug, good evening from stormy Moscow. Bryan Kohberger has a chance to enter a plea here in district court in Latah County tomorrow. He can plead not guilty, he can stand silent, and a judge can enter a not guilty plea on his behalf. He can ask for a continuance, or he can plead guilty. Experts I talked to say there is no chance that Bryan Kohberger pleads guilty in this case. At 9 a.m. here at the courthouse Pacific time tomorrow, District Court Judge John Judge will officially tell Kohberger he was indicted on the 5 charges and ask if he wants the charges read out loud. The judge will also tell Kohberger the penalties those charges carry. The judge will then ask if he's prepared to enter a plea. If Kohberger pleads not guilty or the judge enters it for him, the case will be set for trial. Attorneys say if he asks for a continuance, he'll still be arraigned tomorrow, but the judge will set the case for another hearing, typically within a week or 2, and he'll enter a formal plea at that time. A grand jury convened in private and indicted Kohberger last week on the 5 charges he already faced, meaning he'll no longer have his preliminary hearing we were waiting for in late June. With the formal charges now filed in an indictment, the case moves into district court. Former Ada County Chief Deputy Prosecutor Gene Fisher says prosecutors also shaved off a month's worth of time. Fisher says a grand jury is a great tool for prosecutors in this case, given the sensitive nature of it, the vulnerable witnesses and victims like the surviving roommates, and all the national attention around it. When a grand jury convenes, prosecutors lay out some of their evidence and present probable cause to 16 community members rather than to a judge. Also, this is key, the defense is not there to cross-examine any witnesses.
I don't think that taking this case to the grand jury would have come to any big surprise to anybody in the defense world, especially on a case of this nature with this sort of attention. So that certainly shouldn't have caught them by surprise. You know, whether or not it affects their ability to enter a plea or not, like I said, the chances of him pleading guilty at this stage in the proceedings to me is 0. So, you know, if anything, maybe they would have liked to have an opportunity to question and cross-examine and fish a little bit at a preliminary hearing, but they shouldn't have been surprised by this at all.
When we got into Moscow tonight, we went to the home where the students were killed. The doors and windows are boarded up and a fence surrounds the house now. There's a security guard manning a little blue trailer in the driveway. 6 months later, there is still crime scene tape, as well as this makeshift memorial outside the property. Once a plea is entered for the man accused of murdering those students in this home, his trial could happen within the next 6 months, or he could waive his right to a speedy trial and it could be prolonged for several months from now. Like the Vallow and Daybell cases, the judge could also move Kohberger's trial down to Ada County or another county in Idaho where there's a better chance of finding a fair and impartial jury. Fisher also pointed out if Kohberger enters a plea tomorrow, the 60-day countdown begins for prosecutors to file a notice that they want to seek the death penalty in this case. Kohberger also has 2 other procedural hearings lined up tomorrow after his arraignment. If anything of importance comes out of those, we will be sure to report them right here on Channel 7 as well as on KTVB.com. Doug.
And Morgan, you and I will be here live on air tomorrow morning if things wrap up in that time frame to bring everybody the latest. Again, thank you, Morgan. We'll see you tomorrow. Kohberger's arraignment is scheduled to start at 9 a.m. Pacific time. That's 10 a.m. our time, Mountain time. We cannot carry it live from inside the courtroom. We do plan to have a live report right after the arraignment wraps up to let you know what happened.